welcome back to Georgie's Game Guide. Today me and Dad are going to be doing the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds, set number 76419, and this is made out of 2,660 pieces. So by no state of the imagination is this a small set. So I'm now going to hand you over to Dad to actually go over the measurements and some other details about the model.
Yeah, so as George said, it's not a small set, but it's actually quite small in size considering how many pieces there are. Because it's only 21 centimetres high, 8.5 inches, 35 centimetres wide, which is 3.5 inches, and 25 centimetres deep. So there's a lot of pieces in quite a small footprint, really. So I'm quite looking forward to this to see how it looks. I think it looks great in the box. As you can see, it's sort of in the same vein as the collector's edition of the Hedwig, with the new icon. I actually really like that. You do actually get a collectible gold minifigure in this as well, which is the Architect of Hogwarts. So I don't know if he comes with a stand or anything, so it'd be nice if he actually fits on to the other gold minifigures that we have.
Yeah.
And I think they've just packed loads and loads of details into this. I'll let George go over the back in just a moment, but I think they've incorporated quite a lot of the film scenes in this. So you've actually got from the Goblet of Fire, you've got the ship that bring the Durmstrang school to the tournament, and you've actually got the carriage from the Beauxbaton school as well. So I think it's quite nice to have them included. But yeah, everything's really small scale, so it's going to be interesting to see how this looks.
Yeah, and considering how small of a scale it is, I was really surprised with the amount of pieces, although from what it shows on the front of the box, I think a lot of that is going to be rock work, because there are a lot of very, very small pieces to make it look like there is a cliff. So on the back, it is literally just showing you the back of the models, the inside, so you can see a bit of the greenhouse, which is a bit more on the front, and this is the architect that Dad was talking about earlier. So we have a few pictures of the school. So we have one from the film, we have the greenhouse area, which is here. We have what we believe to be Professor Snape's
Yeah, it could
class.
be the potion class, yeah.
Because of the what seems to be cauldron here. And then we've obviously got where Harry fights the massive snake.
In the Chamber of Secrets.
And I think that they have done really, really well with this model. And, you know, that's saying a lot considering we haven't even opened it yet. But I have seen a little bit of like a story going on. So you can see the room with the flying keys, the chessboard, and then the mirror. So I think they have actually got the story of it there, which I do think is really nice. And you don't see it a lot in sets nowadays. And I think that LEGO has run with that and they've done really well with it. But yeah, so I think that that is almost it for the review, and then we'll have the intro, sorry, and then we'll have a look at the unboxing.
Yeah, so we'll get the box open to have a look, but just before we do that, I do actually like the top view. I do like the top view of this set. I think it's going to be quite interesting. We'll give you a proper view of that when we do the review. But it does look really nice. In some ways, this might actually look nice, sort of wall mounted as a picture, but we'll see. Maybe that won't work too well. But let's get this.
The boat one day flies off or something, knowing us.
I think it depends how heavy it is as well. So let's get this open and have a look what we're getting.
Well, they're saying that we have the attentive, but that's only because of the chain.
Yeah,
oh
chain
my goodness!
Well,
the bags are pretty much falling out of the box. We've got a base plate. We have the instruction box that is very, very heavy. Yeah, this is heavy. It's not light. I think there's more than one book, and that is a big book thing, and that is.
And this one's gone back to the tape, because if you saw the review I did at the last weekend for the Disney Tribute camera, it was actually glued shut. But I do actually prefer the tape because then you don't damage the box, because I like to put the instructions back in the box to keep them nice and safe.
So it's 2 instruction manuals, and that's the thickness. So this is a ridiculous amount of pages if you just want to take in 2, because usually there's something in number 1. Now that's just saying about LEGO VIP. Here we go. So we have a picture of it from the film, and then like a Lego bricks picture, which is actually really nice, and I think that does go really well with it. Then we have a picture of what I presume to be the designer of the set, and then some information about the maximum level of detail. Sorry, couldn't speak for a second there. And then we just have a few more pictures, which is that actual top view that Dad was on about earlier. So that is quite nice. Then a tour of our school, it's called, with a few different pictures from a few different films. And then after that it does just go straight on to building. And yeah, so if you want to go over book number 2.
Yeah, so it looks like there's actually 22 bags for this set. Despite there being 2 books, we will have to build it in sequence because book 1 is literally the whole of the base, and then book 2 is building some of the details on top of it. So we will have to do it all in one go rather than splitting it. But I think this is going to look really good. Really looking to getting this built, so let's get started. So here we have the finished set, and I have to say I really like this. Despite it being such a small scale, they've packed loads of details into this, and I just think it looks really good. Before we get into it, first though, let's have a look at the minifigure that you get in this. So you get the Architect of Hogwarts. So it's a nice little figure. I know it's not a 20th anniversary one, but it would have been nice if it was designed to go with the 20th anniversary figures. But it is quite nice, and it's actually designed to go on the front next to the little printed plaque that says Hogwarts Castle. So yeah, it's quite nice. So you don't see much of his face. He has got a face in there, but you can see the eyes. The printing on his hat and cloak is quite nice, and he's got this, which I presume is a small model of Hogwarts. So yes, it's a nice addition to the set. And then we come to the main thing, which is the actual Hogwarts itself. As I say, it's not a huge set, considering how many pieces it is. But I say they have packed a lot of detail into this, and let me try and lift it up so you can see do a more profile. So you've got at the bottom where it says the Hogwarts Castle. And as you can see, there's a lot of different buildings on this, and the way they've done the details on this is really, really nice. And then you'll see some things on this as well that you'd recognise from the film. So from the Goblet of Fire, you've got the carriages that, I can't remember the name of the school, where the school turns up. I can't think of the name now. You've got the Durmstrang ship, which turns up at the same time. You have at the back here the Ford Anglia and the Wampin Willow. And you'll actually see, let me try and lift this up so you can see it properly. There's lots of little scenes around this. So we have the Chamber of Secrets, and there are actually a couple of holes at the top just to just allow the light down. It's a bit hard to see here, but the statue is at the end of that, so that's quite nice. Then you come across to where the Devil's Nose. So this is looking at the Philosopher's Stone. So you have the Devil's Stair that they go through. The next bit is the room with the flying keys. Then we go through to the chess room, which is, let's say, quite similar to what they have in other sets. And then finally you have the room that's got the mirror. And then going back to the Goblet of Fire, you've got the potions class, because I say he gets the potions for the gillyweed, so he can breathe underwater. And yeah, although they're really small scenes, there's plenty of detail in there, so you can actually sort of see what they're supposed to be. And I say I do really like the Chamber of Secrets one. It's done really well. So for the build itself, I say you build the base first, up to the level of the foundations of the castle, and just this bit down here as well, and you do all the water. It's a reasonable sized model. I'm not sure where we're going to put this yet because it's quite deep, so it's not going to fit on a standard shelf, I don't think. So we'll have to have a think about where that goes. But I love the way they've done the parts usage on this. Yes. So you've got the little trees, and the trees are either the sort of the crystal shaped ones that we had in the Lego City mining sets and things like that. And you've actually got a green ice cream piece as the other trees. So I think that was really nicely done. The water effect has got just two different colours in it. Actually, there's three, because you've got a couple of areas where there is clear. So, for example, around the ship to represent the sort of the foam of where the water's breaking against it, and you've got two different colours of blue in there. So that makes it quite nice. So you can see the areas where it's supposed to be a bit deeper. So at the front, so you've got the area where the ships come into. So when they come on the Hogwarts Express, and then get shipped across to the castle through here. And then you've got the little staircase. So, well, say little staircase. I'd hate to have to walk up that in real life because it is huge. And that follows all the way to the back, and you've got some flat pieces that become the path that they're going to follow into the sort of the main area. It seems quite small on this, but this is the area where he'll do his sort of first broomstick flying lesson and things like that. Then you have the big tower at the top with Dumbledore's offices at the side, which realistically, if it wasn't a magical castle, they wouldn't last very long. It goes against all sorts of physics to get the office on there properly. You've got the Astronomy Tower, you've got the Great Hall, and then the main bit with all the dorms and everything. I believe this is the clock on the front of it, because I know people have said there's no clock tower. But I think the clock tower is actually part of this building, if I remember rightly, from the game, the Harry Potter game that came out earlier this year, I think it was. And one thing that was really good about this, there's no stickers. Everything in this set is printed. And there's quite a bit of printing, so you've got the different doors and clocks and windows and the nameplate, and yeah, there's plenty on there that's got printed on it. So that's a huge bonus for me. I think overall it just looks really nice. Yeah, the way they've done the bridge on this, and it just all fits together really well. The greenhouse area is a bit bigger than I would have expected it. You know, it literally goes around two sides of the building. Would have been nice if there perhaps were Hagrid's hut, but it's probably a bit too far away from the castle to be able to do that. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I think it's going to look great on display. I'm trying to figure out how we are going to display this. I'm actually quite tempted to have it at the 45-degree angle, so you can see the details of what you're supposed to see from the front, but also the plan detail of the set. So if I come up with a mount for this, I might share that, and whether it's going to be 3D printed or it's going to be made of bricks, I'm not quite sure yet. But I think it'd be a great way to display it, to give that extra perspective rather than people having to stand right over the top to get all the details for it. But yeah, it's just a great set. So I enjoyed building it. Came in 2 books. There seemed to be a lot more in the first book, because I say literally the whole of the base of this was the first book, and then the second book is the castle. So there was similar amounts of pages, but there's probably less pieces on each page for the castle bit because of all the extra details that go into it. And the set itself isn't that heavy because, as you can see at the bottom, there's actually a lot of empty space in this. So when you're building it, it looks quite strange as you're building it up because you leave a lot of things empty that you just cover over with a plate. But it does help, because it takes the weight out of the set, and it probably would have added another 600-700 pieces on top if you're going to fill all the areas on the inside. So I understand why they've done that. But yeah, out of the new sets that have come out, I really do like this. Can't wait to build the Gringotts. So we're hopefully going to do that on live stream very soon, because I think that out of the 2 is probably going to be my favourite. But this is a fantastic set, and if you didn't want to spend the money that the Gringotts is, this is definitely a great alternative. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your comments, see what you think about this fantastic little set. If you haven't already, please give me a like and subscribe to George's channel, and watch out for next Sunday's video, which is going to be the review of the Yavin 4 Rebel base.